Infinix has just launched a new foldable. It's called Infinix Zero Flip and it has a GoPro mode in its camera. Let me tell you the rest of its specifications because it is a device that will be very focused on content creators, as I say, hand in hand with the GoPro mode. This device has a 3.64-inch external display with AMOLED technology and a resolution of 1056 by 1066 pixels with 120 Hz in its refresh rate, protected with Gorilla Glass Victus 2 and 1100 nits in its peak brightness. It is an external screen of very good dimensions, although it is obviously cropped to place the photographic system there. This device weighs 195 grams and its thickness when unfolded is 7.64 millimeters, while when folded it reaches 16.04 millimeters. The hinge design doesn't have any gaps, so it's very well designed, although on the external display we do see a fairly large bezel, especially in the lower area if you're viewing the device with the cameras facing upwards. But there are several interesting things about this device. Let me tell you about its cameras because it has Samsung's ISOCELL sensors. For starters, the front camera has the 50 megapixel J&I sensor and it has autofocus, which I find very curious because usually foldables have super basic front cameras because they want to focus more on you using the rear camera system with the external display. But this device doesn't seem to have sacrificed the front camera, which sounds interesting. For the external system, we're going to find Samsung's GNV sensor, also 50 megapixel with optical stabilization and another 50 megapixel sensor for the ultra-wide camera. So this foldable does not bet on the telephoto camera, and if you want to go focused on content creators, it seems to me a good decision because many prefer this ultra-wide camera to record you in selfie mode with a lot of amplitude. In addition, both the front camera and the rear camera support recording in 4K at 60 frames per second. As you can see, it confirms that it is very focused on video blogging and content creation. In fact, it has a camcorder mode very similar to what we saw with Samsung, and as I tell you, the GoPro mode perfectly integrated into the camera to have a good stabilization. The processor is the MediaTek Dimensity 8020, which although it is not the most powerful of today, yes, it is a processor with very good capabilities, since the simple fact that it does allow them to record in 4K at 60 frames per second shows us that it is a good quality processor. We will find 8 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage, although the storage is UFS 3.1, so it is not the fastest of today, but it does have a good speed. The battery is 4720 mAh with support for 70-watt charging, and it also has reverse charging, but it is not wireless, but it is through cable, so you can charge some accessory. This device comes with Android 14, so it arrives factory updated, but it also has the promise of 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security patches. So you can clearly see that Infinix is still not that strong in terms of software support, but at least it is giving a clear promise. Of course, it also integrates side fingerprint reader, it has stereo speakers by JBL, X-axis optical drive, it supports Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.4, it has NFC, and its announced price for Nigeria is about $645. But remember that the prices here are not the same as over there. It is available in black and pink colors, and interestingly, they also announced its global price, which is $599, but in Nigeria the prices are a bit higher, so we more or less get an idea. We still don't know if Infinix is willing to launch this foldable in other regions or what their strategy will be, but let me know if you would like this foldable to be available in your country.